Well, hello. Welcome to Psychology 101 General Psych. I decided to make this recording because some students may have added the course late and also for the benefit of the Monday, Wednesday classes because due to the snow, we missed class on last Wednesday, let's see, would that be the 17th of January? So this is Professor Shoemaker. As I said, welcome to Psych. And as you can see on your screen, I've opened up to D2L. And each of your courses will have a D2L. D2L actually stands for Desire to Learn. And I use it for my general psych classes. And if you look on the screen, you can see, actually I'm teaching 6 general psych classes and 1 abnormal psych class. So I just wanted to bring your attention to that. We'll come back to D2L in a few minutes, but what I want to do is pull up the syllabus that I've provided. Actually, I'll give you a copy on the first day of class if I haven't already, and it's also available on D2L. This is the syllabus for my Monday, Wednesday, 8 a.m. class, and as you can see in the second line here, there is or the third line, I guess, um, a delayed opening schedule if by chance the snow happens again during the semester. Each of our classes, whether you're the 8 o'clock, 9:30, or 12:30 class, will have a 35-minute class, but it will begin at a different time. And as you can see, for the 8 o'clock class, that would be from 10 o'clock till 10:35. Each of the sections, there you can see it, each of the sections will have a unique delayed opening time. So our classroom for the 8 o'clock class and 9:30 is 344 East. I believe we're in 342 for our 12:30 class. Some information about where you can find me. My office is in 316 East, and the best way to get a hold of me, though, is through email. I check my email several times a day and get back to you generally that same day or within 24 hours. But in case you need to see me in person, there are some office hours that I will be in my office for appointments, and you're welcome to meet with me then, or if we need to, we can arrange, as you can see, other hours by appointment. Our official textbook for the semester is by Robert Feldman, Understanding Psychology, the 13th edition, although you may have received an email from me about 4 weeks ago saying you could use probably the 10th, 11th, or 12th edition as well. There aren't significant changes between editions, and you can save yourself a lot of money by using a previous edition. And on the syllabus, I've put in a little bit of information that I'm required to put in. You must have completed, though, English 003, 007, or 057 with a grade of C or higher in order to enroll in my course. At the end of the class, our goal will be to have shown you different major theoretical looks at the field of psychology. They may be biological, psychoanalytic. You've probably heard of Sigmund Freud. We'll talk a lot about him. And some other viewpoints from the behavioral cognitive viewpoint. Another one of my goals is to teach you to locate and summarize psychological information that's published in professional psychology journals. It's my job to teach you how to do that. If you haven't already used ProQuest or EBSCOhost, we will have a librarian come into class to show you how to use that. And also, we're going to learn how to we're going to learn to cite and reference in American Psychological Association style. Many of you have probably already used what is it, MLA style, but in psychology we use American Psychological Association or APA style, so I'm going to teach you how to do that. And I will track attendance. When you come into class, you will be asked to sign a attendance sheet that will show that you did attend class, so please be on time for class. Also, try to read the textbook in advance so that you can participate in the classroom discussions. It's going to get real boring if I'm the only person doing any of the talking, so I welcome comments, questions, and often get us into discussions on the classroom, the classroom material. But one thing that I put in here, as you can see, students will demonstrate respect for the opinions of others in class. I had a situation one time, this was 1993 when I was teaching, and a student made a comment that really surprised us. The comment was that AIDS, acquired immune deficiency syndrome that we've all heard of, but the student said that AIDS was sent by God to get rid of the homosexuals. And unfortunately, other students laughed at that statement. Now, many of us disagree with it, but laughing at the student's statement was disrespectful. And in the classroom, if somebody makes a comment, I would hope that you would, if you disagree, do it in a very respectful kind of manner. I will insist on that because I think our classroom should be a safe environment for discussion, but we should discuss respectfully. And as you can see, number 3 here, wait till I acknowledge you before you participate in a class discussion. I know it's not high school, but I ask students to raise their hand if they want to say something in class rather than just blurting out an answer, because what can happen then is that one student answers all the questions and everybody else kind of goes to sleep or stops paying attention. So please honor me and your classmates by raising your hand. Even if you haven't raised your hand, though, I may still call on you just to kind of keep you involved. As you can see here, I want you to be on time for class. Stay for the entire session. But if you do need to leave early, let me know. 2 latenesses, I'll consider that an unexcused absence, and I don't like that happening. Also, headphones and cell phone use, including, as you can see, I've highlighted, bolded, and capitalized text messages. It's not permitted in class. It distracts me. It distracts, I think, your neighbors. And I will want you to keep your phone away while you're in class. Also, try to avoid in-class conversations with your neighbor during class. It tends to interfere with what's going on with the classroom discussion. And putting your head down to take a nap, I don't consider acceptable. And if you need to, chew gum, take a drink of your water bottle or something like that to stay awake, that's fine with me. If you bring coffee, that's fine. I also ask you not to bring lots of food or crunchy bags and things like that to eat from, because it can be distracting to the class. Exams and other requirements. We're going to have 4 multiple choice exams. There will be 51 questions, and you can actually get 102% if you get them all correct. But the 4th exam will be offered during finals week, which I believe is something like May 3rd through the 9th. We'll see it in a few minutes here. You're also going to write 2 separate 2 to 3 page typed reviews of articles or studies from professional psychology journals. I'll have a librarian coming in to show us a little bit about that. Those papers will be worth 50 points each, and the deadlines for those will be shown to you in just a few minutes here. Also, late papers will have 5 points deducted for each business day that the paper is late. So make sure that you get your papers in on time, because that is not something that you want to incur as a late penalty for having your paper in late. D2L, I've already mentioned that. It's going to be renamed Brightspace. If you've never used it, you can access it by going to the Hack homepage and then clicking on My Hack at the bottom of the page. It may be at the top of the page now too, and you may have to enter your H number, your ID number, and your password in order to get into D2L. But I will post things on there, and I'll show you what's there available to you in just a few minutes. Also, check your Hawkmail often. I use it to communicate with you with messages or announcements about the course. Our grading system, pretty straightforward there, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that. There may be extra credit opportunities, though, later on in the semester. Some of our students are taking a course where they have to make up an experiment and they need subjects, and I offer extra points for participating that way. Also on D2L, there are a couple of other opportunities for extra credit that can be earned, a maximum of 3 extra credits or 15 points. You get 5 points for each extra credit. So 5 times 3 would be 15. So you can do those 3 extra credits at any time, turn them in at any time. I'll be announcing more about this in class. And withdrawal from the course. If you have a work schedule change or anything that requires you to withdraw from the course, you can do that up to the 70th percent meeting point of each semester, sometime in probably late March. I'll announce that in class too, but you can do this on your own. You'll get a W on your transcript, but if you wait till after 70% of the course is done, you will receive an F, or the grade that you're presently earning at the point where you withdraw from the class. Now, if you've been cheating and try to withdraw from the class, you're going to get an F. Okay, makeup tests. If because of weather or your child being sick you miss an exam, you may make it up. You're going to have to contact me, though, either in person, call, or use email within 24 hours of the exam in order to qualify for that makeup exam. I allow only 1 per semester, though, for a student, and I do deduct 5% for missing that exam, which is stated a little bit below here in the syllabus, as you can see in these last 2 lines here. Also, academic dishonesty, plagiarism, and I include this part of it. When you write reports for me, if you cut and paste into a report within the body of the report, I consider that cut and paste. I consider that plagiarism. You must keystroke all the words within the reports and papers that you submit in the class. Now, there is one exception to that. When you're writing your journal article review, I do allow a cut and paste for your reference. We'll show you that with the librarian when she comes into class. I do allow you to cut and paste your reference only, but you have to be careful because a lot of times there are mistakes that you still have to correct with what's provided as the reference. If you need accommodations for a learning disability, emotional problem, mental health issue, you need to have met with Vicki Van Heis, our coordinator of disability services. She will send a letter to me explaining that your accommodations are in place. It might be extra time, copies of my notes, or the ability to record classes, etc. But unless you've met with Miss Van Heis, you will not be able to access those accommodations. Also, I'm required to put this into my syllabus, but we at Hack strongly believe it should be a safe and non-discriminating environment, and it's our policy. And if you feel at all discriminated against or harassed in any way, report it. And if it's another instructor, I will help you report it because I believe that you deserve good instruction. If it's me, I'll still help you report it. And hopefully I will not discriminate or appear biased against any of these protected categories that you can see listed in this paragraph. Basis of race, color, religion, political affiliation, gender identity, expression, or any legally protected classification. It is Hack's policy that there be absolutely no discrimination in the classroom. So hopefully that won't happen. Here is the course outline, what we're going to be doing this semester. And as you can see, there are dates for when I intend to cover things. Obviously, we didn't have class on January 17th, but on January 22nd, we are going to be sprinting through Chapter 1. And the following class on the 24th through the 29th, Chapter 2. We maintain a pretty quick pace through the semester. And as you can see down here, exam number 1 is going to be on Valentine's Day. Sorry about that, but we have to have it sometime. By the way, on my exams, you may bring a 3x5-inch card with handwritten notes on both sides. You are entitled to one card, no more than that, but I encourage you to use that. You can jot down notes from any of the chapters and bring that with you to refer to while you're taking the exam. And as you can see, all of the exams are listed here. February 14th, March 21st, April 11th, and then during the finals week, we'll have our 4th exam, which will cover just the last 4 chapters, chapters 13 through 16. And some important deadlines: January 31st is going to be your first journal article review report is due. March 14th, your second one. And any extra credit will be due by our last class, which, as you can see, is April 30th. So I hope that helps covering the syllabus. I want to take a look at D2L there. And as I said, you can access it through the Hack homepage, but I'm going to open up the 8 a.m. class that I have listed here. And as you can see, when you open it up, there are potential news items. If you click on it, it will have a couple of things in there already. I put in there just for your benefit. This isn't extra credit, but as we start a new semester, it might be a good idea to look at how you approach studying. And there is a study skills inventory for you to take that will highlight strengths and weaknesses in your study style. Also in the news items, I give you a link to a publisher's website that has additional self-exams, fill in a blank, flashcards, vocabulary, descriptions of each chapter. You're not required to use it, but it could be helpful. What we find, research shows that the more you test yourself with test questions, you'll find those at the end of each module in our chapters, but the more you test yourself, actually, the better you learn. So at the end of each module, there are questions, and the ones listed at this website here are additional to what's already presented in your textbook. And if I go back to the course home here, the content browser, I clicked on that and it will open soon. And I have many things in there that I think are beneficial to you. I have the syllabus listed here. PowerPoints for the text. I have these organized by each exam, and I do not display PowerPoints while I'm teaching. I don't like PowerPoint, I'll admit it. I don't admire teachers who put the PowerPoints up and read them to you. I don't think that's good teaching. My teaching style is a little bit different. So if you signed up for the course hoping I would use PowerPoint and just read slides off a screen to you, you're going to be disappointed because I teach in a very different style. I use outlines in order to explain the material, but I do have the PowerPoints up at my podium in front of the class and use those PowerPoints to list outlines on the whiteboard for you to use as your notes. But I do give you the PowerPoints. I suggest while you're reading, you might have the PowerPoints open because they do summarize the material very well. But I just don't use them in my teaching. Also, on the in the content area, I have a description of our assignment for the first research paper. And this first document here, General Psychology research paper, even though it says September 16th, it's the assignment. I have been using this since spring of 16. And if you open that, you will see the assignment. We're going to cover it in class, so don't worry too much about that. I also give you a sample paper written by a student, and I also give you a checklist that I use to correct your reference. And also here, as you can see, is a video that I made on how to find an article. The librarian, when she comes into class, will explain how to find articles, but I also did a video in order to help you find your articles. This next one actually pertains to Chapter 6, so you can ignore that for now. But here is the extra credit possibilities. There are several listed in there for you to choose. Like I said, you can do a maximum of 3 and turn those in at any time before the last class. This publisher's website is a repeat of what you saw on the news items, but it's that publisher's website with the practice exams and other study materials. The second research paper assignment, it's already listed there for you. It's not due till sometime, I believe, in March, so don't worry about that one too much. And just for fun, I have a student stress scale that when we look at Chapter 14 on stress, we are going to be looking at some of the stresses that you face, and you might want to do that just for fun and bring it to class. So I hope this has been helpful. I encourage you, if you do have questions, please don't hesitate to email me, and I'll see you at class. I'm going to start right in with Chapter 1 at our class. If you are viewing this sometime later, we may have already had class, but I felt it necessary to put this together because we did not meet and I didn't get a chance to really explain the syllabus in detail the way I normally do. But at our first class, I will be starting right into Chapter 1, and you should have read Chapter 1 by then. So have a great day, and I hope you are very successful in my class and all your classes at HACC.